My name is Rhapsody, his name is Alexa, and welcome back to Draft Champions. How's it going, bud?
That was amazing.
Hey, thank you.
I normally, like, you know how when you do an intro for a chunk of time and you kind of get into the groove of just doing like the same thing repeatedly over and over?
Mm-hmm.
You switched it up on me and my brain was like filling in the autocomplete, and then you hit the deep draft champs and it was a explosion in my skull. It was really good.
I'm really glad it was such a great oral experience on that side. How's it been? It has been a while. I will say it's been longer on my end than yours, because of a thing.
True. There was a thing. We did an episode that died on Raps' channel. It's on mine. So if you want to see the first Downfall Draft Champs, you can go to my channel and you can watch it from my perspective. You can watch me just clobber Rhapsody in Downfall. Just don't watch to the end of the video. Today we're going to do more Downfall, though, and play as the Guardian again, since you haven't seen a Guardian Downfall Draft Champ Slay the Spire with Rhapsody and Alexa run on Rhapsody's channel. The end. And I'm good, by the way.
I'm damn glad to hear it.
Hope you're well.
It's going to be a good time as well. I will say that video that Alexa was talking about there will be linked in the description down below, at the very top of the description down below on my channel. So go and see it on that channel. It is a good time.
It was speaking from a viewer's perspective, it was a good epi in general, just because there was a lot of good banter during it.
Yeah.
So.
I am pretty dismayed, unfortunately, that I lost the recording file for that one, because it was good.
Yeah.
Good ep. We got another good ep ahead of us. We're going to be doing the Guardian, as you said previously.
Yeah. Are you ready for flippies?
I am totally ready for a flippy.
If you could name one animal flippy.
You know it's a dolphin. It's always a dolphin.
Flippy the dolphin? I was going to go frog.
Oh.
I'm glad we're on the same page already to start today. Flippy the Frog just sounds... It's like Kermit's older brother.
No, because Kermit's kind of like Kermit's a nerd name, right? Let's get that out here, right? Kermit is a nerd, right? But the problem there is that Kermit's older brother has to either then be really cool or super nerdy. So they've got to either be named like Herman or Cool Tim, right? Like, it's one of the two. They can't be in the middle with Flippy. Flippy is a younger brother.
Okay, I'm gonna throw two things at you.
Okay.
Instead of Kermit the Frog,
got it.
We've got Hermit the Frog, and he's a recluse frog living in his own world. And this is a new, segment on some news show.
Okay. I like it. Who's their counterpart? Who do they play off of? We've also got
Miss Figgy.
Miss Figgy, okay.
Miss Figgy, which is just a giant walking fig with voluptuous breasts.
Yeah, because if there's a puppeteer involved, they're just going to put extra stuffing there, because it's like, look, we have to make it clear that this is a female character. It's like when you see in any animated film, like, any female bird just so happens to have a particularly pronounced feather at the very front of the chest. It's just like, really? That's sexual dimorphism exists in those species, but it's not the same as ours.
This episode is derailed very quickly. I was going to derail it even further, but honestly, at 4 minutes in, I feel like we're not quite far enough into the run for me to bring that one up. So I'm just going to drop it in the middle of the episode, and that'll be good.
Love it.
So stay tuned. All right. Heads or tails?
I'm going to go for a bit of a tails here.
A little tails action. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it was a little spicy. You going first or next to? And do we reflip for relics? Remind me, because we've now done 17 episodes, and I have absolutely no idea.
We've done it differently every time, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Excellent. Would you like to reflip for relics after?
I'm fine either way, to be entirely honest. Dealer's choice.
Okay, we will... If you take first here, then you get next to relics.
Okay. Wait, if I take first here, I get next two on the relic. So
yes. So if you take next two on cards, you get first relic.
Got it. Thing is, there's like heat on the board, you know, but like there's like a couple different directions of heat.
There's a lot of directions of heat.
I'll take next to.
So you're going for first relic.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. That sucks. Because I basically just wanted the relic. Okay. Well, 0% chance that I can evade gold cards.
Yeah,
That's
that
for
is
damn
true.
certain.
I mean, unless
no-
you evade
no
all
way
of
in
them, then
hell.
I take all of them.
I mean, sure. I think that it's not going to happen. But maybe. So I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to take this gem.
Okay. Let's see.
Is it intelligent? I don't think so, but that's okay.
I would say it is. I'd certainly
Okay.
say it is.
I appreciate your judgment.
I mean, look, if it helps, I was probably going to take that gem.
Oh, that makes it even better, to be honest.
All right. I'm going to take the bulb beam and the fragmented gem.
Fair enough. Those were close to being my next pick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I was really hoping my next two was going to be ball beam and citrine.
Yeah.
Just get an extra energy playing it.
That was definitely like on my list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It exists.
It is what it is. Taking the aquamarine.
Things exist, and they're good. They're existing things, and when they exist, right?
I like it when
Let's do
things
this.
that ought exist do.
Yeah.
What I find really disconcerting, though, is when the things that ought not also do. All things that ought exist don't. Both of those really jarring situations to me, frankly.
I'm far too exhausted for whatever you said to make sense.
It's not your exhaustion that made that not make sense. I'm going to take this
Okay.
compile driver.
that makes me feel better, honestly. Let's do this evasive protocol.
Okay. I see your defensive kit setting up here. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I
See, the best part about this is there's 3 cards I want. There's dupes of all of them, so I just wait for you to take.
It's not hard.
Which now tells you the 3 cards that I want, because there's only 3 dupes, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes down to whether or not I ever want to defend. Because I might not want to.
That is fair. You know what? If you want to not have any defense, in my eyes, be my guest.
All right, I'm taking the spherical shield.
Okay, I'm going to take floating orbs.
Get yourself some offense in that deck.
Yeah. Big fan of that card, actually.
God. I'm going to take a piercing hide now.
I will be taking the other piercing hide.
That makes sense.
Because it good.
It do is good.
It do good.
It does is pretty good oft. I'll take a harden as well.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to take that other harden right here.
Yeah.
Possibly James. Possibly freaking, I don't know any other hardens besides James Harden.
Who's James Harden?
James Harden is a very, very famous basketball player for the Houston Rockets.
Oh, okay. So I thought
Something you know close to nothing about.
Exactly. I was like, James Corden? No, his name's James
No.
Corden, not Harden.
James Cordon Bleu Harden.
I went to Indonesia, specifically Bali, with my family when I was quite young, and I wasn't really an adventurous eater at the time, but every restaurant there would have obviously like an array of Balinese and Indonesian dishes, just like broad Asian dishes as well.
And then steak of James Harden.
No, they would have chicken Gordon Blue, Gordon space BLUE. Now, I'm not taking it against the typo there or anything like that, but it's more that every single meal, every single day, I would order chicken Gordon Blue because it was the closest thing that I had. Like, it was plain rice and chicken Gordon Bleu were the things that I was capable of eating at the time. Were you ever a picky eater?
To be perfectly honest with you, not really. Growing up, I was. It's your card, by the way.
It is.
Growing up, I was actually a very adventurous eater. But there were always like very certain things that I didn't like. And to be honest with you, I still don't like some of them today. Like, some I'll tolerate, but things that I like, things that if you put in front of me as a kid and you were like, eat it right now or you die, I will still not eat those today.
Okay.
Like, 100%.
What are those? Is that Brussels sprouts? Is that
No, dude, oh my god, absolutely not. Brussels sprouts, dude, I could eat those for dinner like every day.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it.
They're so good. Things that I will refuse to eat if you put it in front of me. If you put a glass of milk in front of me and say, drink this, if you drink the whole thing, you get to live. If you don't, you'll die. I'll be like, hand me the poison. Because I have no interest in drinking that glass of milk. I would rather die than do it.
What is it? Because I've encountered this response from people before. I, myself, am an avid milk drinker. Back when, probably not anymore actually, because it started to mess with my stomach a little bit, but back when I was going through my growth spurts, I would legitimately drink about 2 liters of milk a day.
Oh my god.
Like, in that period of time, I would come home from school, 3:30, right, just from primary school, because I'm just starting to go through puberty. I'd come home, I'd get 2 full giant cans of baked beans, put them into a single bowl, put like 3 layers of cheese in there as well to cheese it up a little bit. Get about half a loaf of bread, toast that, butter it as well, eat through all of that, and drink 2 liters of milk. I needed it to grow.
Okay, I hope you know that in the midst of that explanation, I legitimately turned on my webcam so that people could see my facial reaction to what you said. That's how disgusted I was by that entire conversation.
Okay, but think about it, right? I was going from 5'2" to 6'4".
I get it.
What I'm effectively saying to you at this point is that 1 foot 2 inches of me is made out of baked bean and milk. It's just solid baked bean and milk.
I understood it, and my stomach is legitimately churning thinking about it. I hope you're aware.
Do not worry, I am more than well aware.
Yeah, glass of milk, still won't do that today. I don't like tomatoes. I will eat tomatoes in pretty much everything. Like, I love salsa. Okay. I love tomato sauce. I will eat tomato soup. It's not my favorite, but I'll eat it. There's these are all ass, dude. Sure, this is at least 0 cost. I don't like tomatoes. If you gave me one raw and you were like, eat it, I'll be like, no, I don't think I have to. But I will at least, like, I'm not going to choose death over eating that tomato. I'll eat the damn tomato, but I don't like them.
Okay, so you will legitimately choose death over the milk?
Yes. Yeah. I have no interest in drinking milk. And to your question, things I don't like about it, I think the taste is horrible. I think the texture is horrible. I think the implication is horrible. There's not a single redeeming quality about it, in my eyes. Like, I don't need, like, that kind of thick coating your throat thing that it does. Absolutely hate it. The fact that it's just a pile of dairy sitting in your stomach afterward, absolutely hate it. It's just horrible.
I just do not understand this perspective, even slightly. Because it's cold. As long as you have it completely cold, that film on your throat that I don't believe really exists is a little thicker than water, certainly. But it's an enjoyable, refreshing experience. And then all that dairy in your stomach, look, if you fast forwarded a couple hours after having eaten a tub of ice cream, you're in the same position.
Yeah, but like ice cream tastes good.
I got sensitive teeth. Ice cream is not my kind of jam, mon frere.
Heat it up.
I legitimately used to do that. Yeah, I'd heat it up for like 20 seconds and then I'd start mixing it around in the bowl afterwards.
Dude, absolutely. And then it was like a soft serve.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Exactly like a soft serve.
Absolutely, dude. I'm with that.
Okay.
That's your relic pick.
As long as we're on board. Yeah, here it is. All right, fine. I'll take the shuriken.
Oh, I got what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I'm also going
I have next two, sir. So you're gonna put that back for right now.
Oh, fine.
And you're not gonna be happy with me, I don't think.
Okay.
Are you gonna be happy with me? I don't think you're gonna be happy with me. I can't tell if you're gonna be happy with me.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you.
No, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
All right. If that was actually like my legit long play, I
was very confused for a second.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna be happy with either of them, but here I've got a shuriken for 3 attacks played is a point of strength, and 3 skills played is a point of 5 damage against all enemies. The ball beam now just does a point of strength as well as 5 damage AoE because it'll have the 2 the shivs and the wards in it.
Yeah, that's not great for me. Good play.
I mean, as a result of the last run, which again people can see in the link in the description at the very down below, or very top of the description down below rather. Yeah, I was scared you might take ball beam as your first choice.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I honestly didn't think you were gonna take it first.
Mm-hmm. It's an extremely powerful one. I have to. It's F12 with the screenshot. All right, we will bring y'all back once we get into the game.
Sounds good. We'll see you there. Okay, we are back in the run. We're set up. We're ready to go. Raps, are you ready?
I am ready. Locked and loaded.
Okay, I'm gonna go 5, 4, 3, 1, -8. Let's go.
Well done. You got me.
He's done it again.
I'm always expecting you to do it in a different way, and I'm never expecting you to do it in a different way you do.
I gotta spice things up as often as possible.
You're definitely keeping it spicy.
It's spicy. It's spicy. Alrighty. It's a good time. It's a good time. We're primed and ready to go.
It's damn set to be a good time, I'll agree. Ooh,
yeah.
Shapes here as well. Love that.
Let's see. What do I want to upgrade to start?
What do you want to upgrade?
I don't know what I want to upgrade.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of good things to upgrade. I mean, there's just a good chunk of things to upgrade. I think Guardian Whirl is gonna be my upgrade.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad one, especially if you can be in defensive mode reliably, as your deck certainly can.
Absolutely. Anywho, Raps, how was your last... Frick. How long? 3 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks sounds right.
All right. Well, I mean, look, we discussed yours last time, so
yeah.
Let's discuss the elephant in the room. I'm getting stolen from by YouTube at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, my last couple of weeks has been a lot of that. But I will say this week, like specifically Monday and Tuesday, so it's Wednesday morning for me right now as well. I've just been having a good week. I've just been feeling really, really good every day. Starting to go and actually reconnect with friends in real life as well, because I've been kind of in a reclusive period also. So it's feeling pretty good. I don't know. The sunshine seems to be coming out.
Hey, that's great news.
Yeah, exactly. Whether or not, you know, the issue will end up being ultimately addressed, yeah, it's a completely different matter. But at the moment, I feel good. I'm I've done everything I can, and now I have to find out how I can feel good in the meantime.
Yeah.
Seem to have managed.
That's like the most positive draft champs thing that's ever been said, to be honest. That's some good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm very happy to hear that. I really am.
I'm damned ecstatic about it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, do you ever feel like you get like you're over invested in sadness? Like, think you've got so many things just going on at the same time that you're just like very, very distressed by, to the point that none of them matter to you anymore. Like, I've referred to it in the past as the fuck it valve. It's pressure is built up right to the point, and it's hit the top, and now the fuck it valve is activated, and fuck it, I don't care. It's not a problem for me anymore. You know?
Yeah. No, I get that almost far too much. Except for me, it's kind of like I needed to call a plumber to fix the valve. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I started seeing a new psych over the past 2 weeks as well. So, look, it's probably... might be related, you know? We'll see. But yeah, just generally feeling pretty good. How about yourself?
I've been okay. It's just been stupid busy all the time. And like, I know that you guys in the land of the, I was about to say the land of the turkeys. That's not, literally is absolutely not what that is at all.
Yep.
The land of the kangaroos. That's you.
Yes. The great down under.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word for it. I know that you guys are not as infested with COVID at this point as good old America is. But my state is now up to 5,000 cases a day, which is extremely bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've thought about it a couple times recently where, you know, I've said something errantly of, oh, you know, I went outside a couple days ago, or there's this event, I want to see a movie in the cinemas, those kinds of things. And had to check myself because I recognize, like, some people just inertially think I'm American because everyone on the internet's American until proven otherwise. And even if not, I still don't want to be just like, no, I get to go outside. If it helps, I don't want to go outside. I would prefer to go back into lockdown. You can have the low COVID.
Yeah. But no, it's basically like we all got word in my state tonight that the governor is doing another press conference tomorrow, and it's like super important and the entire state has to watch it. So I'm like 90% sure that I will be back in lockdown starting tomorrow. Which doesn't really affect me like at all, but it's still one of those things where it's like, damn, that sucks, because it's not exactly something that I think we all know where I'm going with this. It's so it's just kind of, it's one of those just sour kinds of things, right?
It's sour, but there's always a silver lining. So what have you found inside that in any period, because you were in lockdown previously, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Did you find kind of like techniques for how to deal with that, pass the boredom, maybe find some fun games? Not necessarily video games, I'm just talking about like things, you know?
Yeah. For sure. So I'm still living with my family at home right now. So there's 4 of us living in the house, and it's a lot of people because we all work. So during the day, everybody is on work calls in the same house, which is, I mean, that can get to be a lot. But on the bright side, it's also been like extremely good weather where I'm from right now, which makes everything easier. Because we spend a lot of time outside, and you know we're playing board games outside. We've actually been playing some games on the Nintendo Switch, which has been good. So we've been playing Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Good one.
Which is very good. It's a very good game. And we've been playing Overcooked 2, which is also a very good game. So it's been interesting. We've been trying to keep busy as much as possible, but it's also still, you know, it's not fun to be locked inside of a house all day.
Yeah, exactly. When you get the ability to choose whether or not you're inside, being inside is excellent.
Yeah.
It's too much of a good thing, the old lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's, you know, you know me and yourself, and like you said, we are pretty happy being inside kind of people.
Yeah.
And I am the same way. I definitely am okay being inside, but I also, there's things like the fact that I saw my girlfriend for the first time in a month this weekend, which at least I got to see her, right? But the entire time we were also like, yeah, we really shouldn't be seeing each other. which definitely is a little sour when you are guilty doing something like that.
Yeah. Did you find the ability to actually still enjoy the day at least?
Yeah, it was nice. We went. It was gorgeous. We went to a state park in the area, and we went hiking for the day. And it's this gorgeous. There's all these ravines and you know, tall cliffs and things that you can, you know, kind of hike up, and it's really, really nice. So we had a great weekend, and then we watched a little bit of Schitt's Creek. Not sure if you've seen any of Schitt's Creek, but it's quite the good show.
I've seen
So we
none
did
of it.
that.
I'm gonna have to, like, not only have I seen none of it, but I don't know what it's about at all. Here's my impression of it so far. It is so it's got the dad from what's his name? Dan Levy? No, Dan Levy is his son, I think. Eugene Levy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's got the dad from American Pie, but it's kind of doing like a This Is Us, but funny.
Little bit. I like to think of it as if what was that horrible show with the banana stand?
Oh,
and
that's Arrested Development.
Yes. In my opinion, the show is Arrested Development if it was good. Because I did not think Arrested Development was good.
Really?
Yes.
How?
I didn't really think it was very funny. I thought that it was kind of dumb. Like, the humor in it was just kind of dumb.
When did you watch it?
Last year.
So this is a recent take. This is.
I mean, sure.
I'm
But
very taken aback by this. I kind of tend to think of you as having quite acute comedy chops, and yet almost everyone tends to agree it's a masterpiece. Is it you didn't like any of the characters and that made you put offside, or like was there?
I mean, I'm not sure I liked any of the characters in it. The thing is, I like most of the actors in it, but I don't like the characters in it. I found that the people were very annoying.
Yeah.
And that made me, you know how, like, if you like a character, it's kind of like, have you watched Parks and Rec?
I've watched probably about half of one season.
Okay. So, like, Parks and Rec, for me, one, it's one of my favorite shows of all time, so I can talk about it forever and ever. But Parks and Rec, for me, falls under the category of there is not a single character in the show that you dislike. In fact, you actually just like every character. So, thus, it's impossible for the show to be bad. Because if you like every character, how can it be bad?
Does a show have to be defined by whether or not you like the characters on screen?
I think that it plays a relatively strong part.
Were you a fan of Breaking Bad?
I've not seen it.
Okay. I mean, there is the easy argument
but,
of Jesse.
So I will also point out that I think that when you're talking a comedy versus a more serious show like Breaking Bad, there is a big difference there.
Okay, well, I'll give you the other example then. How about Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Also have not watched it.
Okay, well, I would probably recommend you not, because it is very much doing the, like, everyone in the show is despicable, and that's the point.
But I feel like if that was the point, then it might work. I don't think it's that way in Arrested Development. I think you are supposed to like some of the characters in the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I think that Michael Jr., you're absolutely supposed to like and feel sorry for that he has to deal with this family. But in reality, he's just as bad as the rest of them. I think that the son, Michael Cera, I think you're supposed to find as a funny and enjoyable character in the show. I think he's annoying as hell.
I mean, look, it's a fair take, but I would tend to say that something I believe about that show is that it is their intent every single time that they build up one character against the others in the family. By the end of the episode, they turn around and say, but really this one was no better either. They're all so bad. And
yeah,
that strikes me ill sometimes, but it seems like it's the solution to the problem you're proposing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And to be honest with you, I'm not, going back to the show at hand, I'm not really sure that, I don't really think the Schitt's Creek does the formula differently. Like, I think that you're still supposed to hate all of the characters in that show, too.
Okay. What pushed through?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think that the story building is a little better for me. You know, it's more... It's like the entire storyline is that the family goes broke, and due to some big fraud issue, even though it's implied that they were probably being fraudulent to begin with.
This is Arrested Development. You are describing Arrested Development to me.
Correct.
This is the story of the one guy who has to hold them all together. I get it. I've seen the show. Why are you repeating it to me?
I'm telling you, it's similar, but they end up having to move to a, like, basically abandoned town that they bought as a joke many years ago because it's the only piece of property that they own. And they're now living in a, like, torn down motel that, this rich, posh family is not used to living in. And that's the plot line of the show. And I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it's the best show I've ever watched, but it was enjoyable enough. So.
I like that ringing endorsement. Were you watching from, like, the very start?
Yeah.
Because I have heard on the grapevine that apparently that show gets significantly better in later seasons.
I have heard that it gets very, very good and also gets very, like, much more wholesome as the show goes on too. I'm excited for that because I like the wholesome factor.
How much time would you invest into a show without it already being good? Like, are you 2 seasons at the start of Buffy? Like, you can take that and then move on? Or are you, like, 4 bad episodes and I'm out?
No, I think 2 seasons is fair. So I will tell you, okay? Yeah. Arrested Development, I watched 4 seasons of it.
Okay.
And at the end of the 4th season, I went, I don't really need to see the rest. Like, I think I've seen it. I think I've seen everything I need to see here.
I can tell you that is definitely true. The rest of it is
because the last seasons are very bad, is what I've heard. Yeah. And if I thought that the first 4 were pretty bad, I think the rest of them will be worse.
Yeah. Honestly, like, one of the worst things about the final couple seasons is the ADR is really, really over the top. Automated dialogue replacement. Specifically in scenes where they'll have 2 characters talking, they'll always film over the shoulder of one character, and then they'll have that character talking, so you can't see their mouth, so they can just replace the lines afterwards. And then even the audio levels are just imbalanced through the entire conversation, so it's so jarring. I just don't understand how it got to air like that. Like, people have ears and watched this beforehand, right?
Yeah, I don't like that at all, honestly.
Like, we're talking ADR, like, the room levels of ADR, like, bad.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I mean, hey, I will say, if you enjoy Arrested Development, but you also see the flaws that I'm talking about, I think you might really enjoy Schitt's Creek. So
I might do, which is probably the reason that I'm not able to watch it. I can't get into another show right now.
So what show are you currently in?
I'm rewatching Community for the 4th time in lockdown.
Okay, so that's actually a really, really great point, because this is, so let me give you a little foray into corporate America, okay? So corporate America basically sums up as they schedule a meeting every single day that is for 2 hours, all right?
Right.
But most days, they don't actually have anything to cover in that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up sitting in a meeting for 2 hours with a bunch of old men and women that don't want to do work and instead want to talk about the TV shows that they watched that previous weekend.
Yep. Makes sense.
Which is okay. I'm fine with it. However, most of the time I would much rather be doing literally anything but that. However, Community came up as one of the people's favorite show, and they said that it is hands down the best comedy they have ever watched, and they have watched The Office, Parks and Rec, Schitt's Creek, Arrested Development, name them all, and they think Community is hands down the best. So sell me on Community over other shows.
Oh God. Okay. Sell you on Community over other shows. So what is your base level of familiarity with it going in?
I know that Donald Glover's in it.
Really? Oh wow.
That's maybe where I stand.
So
I don't know much about it.
The creator,
and I think the meme where he walks in with the pizza and the entire place is burning, I think that's from that show.
It is.
All right.
Well identified. The way that Dan Harmon, the creator, would tend to describe it, and I think it's relatively apt, is that after school he would rush home to watch TV. The kind of like I was raised by TV phenomenon. And in doing so, he would form attachments with the characters that were on screen. And kind of like learn through their shared experiences, blah blah blah. Those kinds of like but the thought wasn't necessarily always put into the shows that he was engaging with in those ways. So he's effectively trying to create that kind of like afternoon sitcom vibe, but also do it with a lot of intent, specifically for the children that would be in the same position that he was as one. That's not really telling you much about the show, but it kind of tells you about the direction of the vibe. It is very, very intensely focused on what it wants to be each episode. The character development over the course of it is extremely complex and I find deeply interesting. But it does something that I find really interesting, which is it approaches every episode kind of like a new opportunity to set itself as a new show. It's kind of like every episode is the first episode of a new show, but it features the same characters from the previous one.
Okay. I will say, I'm not sure I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do like some direction.
Oh, it has direction aplenty.
Okay.
Is the thing. Like, it's got all of that. It's just that is part of its focus, specifically.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then I feel very pro this.
I don't know if I'm well equipped to proselytize it to other people. In fact, I would recommend, hey, maybe watch the video that Graham of Two Left Thumbs made, talking about well, that's specifically talking about why the Gas Leak season is bad. They had one season that Dan Harmon was fired as a writer, and they tried to bring in people, and literally, like, the whole season is just examples of those people trying to emulate what they thought worked about it. And it had the same problem as, like, back when Dan and DB from Game of Thrones realized, hey, people like boobs, and they really like when characters die. And then they just decided, okay, the rest of the show is just going to be trying to utilize both of those, sometimes at the same time. You learned the wrong lesson. People enjoyed the character development that led up to that, you nerds.
I see. Well, I mean, look, you have put me in a position where I now was quite interested in Community as a show, and I am now more interested in Community as a show. It's sad because I now I now have like I went from I haven't finished a sentence yet. I apologize.
It's totally fine.
I went from being the kind of person, and I actually, it hasn't really been something that I can say I went from, because I actually just continue to be this 24/7. I'm not a huge TV person.
That's
like,
totally fair.
at all. The only times that I, like literally the only times that I watch TV is if I'm laying on the couch with Anna watching TV. She's a TV person. I'm not a TV person. So I'm not going to be one where I'm like, oh man, I got nothing to do tonight. I think it's time for me to just boot up Netflix and go a scrolling. Like, if I'm going to watch a show, it's going to be I committed and blocked off time to watch this show, and I will watch it very diligently, and I will enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, then I'm going to, kick a baby or something. I don't know.
That's totally fair. Totally same, especially with the baby. Like, just punt him right over the goals.
Dude, I'm glad that we get each other.
Insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just makes sense, and they're so easy to kick. They
absolutely.
barely move at all. I mean, they make it simple.
Yeah. No, they're just walk, right? Just walk away from me instead. But
exactly.
They never do. They
why
never
don't you use your words and ask me not to kick you? Exactly.
Stupid ass child.
Nerd baby. Look, the thing is, I agree. I'm also not really a TV kind of person. I will not go and plonk myself down in front of the TV or anything like that, but I am very much I need something on the second screen so that takes part of my brain away, so I'm just not constantly like worried and anxious. Like it's part of kind of it's like background noise. It's kind of like having a radio turned on for a dog so they don't get nervous.
Dude, I am literally the exact same way. But I just do it as YouTube and Twitch. Yeah.
I find it difficult on YouTube and Twitch because I always feel like, because when I'm in that position, I want to engage with, obviously, like the creators that I work with, because I find their content very interesting, naturally. And I think it'd be particularly, like, slightly of a bonding experience to be able to talk to them later and say, hey, yeah, no, I saw that thing. And that was cool. And then we might be able to collaborate based on things that have been said and done. But
yeah, that thing.
I need to give that attention. So I can't put that on in the side, right? I always feel like I need to be engaged entirely there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty. I very rarely will I have your guys' streams on, solely because they fall at weird times for me to watch.
Yeah.
I find that the only, this is going to sound so stupid when I say it, because we both know how often he streams, but the one person that I find that I watch the most out of the Olsenverse is Mr. Jonas Fatson.
Wow.
Because it's normally he is streaming so late at night that it's as I'm dead tired and about to sleep, and I'll just put him on in the background for a little bit and just laugh at whatever he's doing poorly. Which is very mean of me to say, but we all know it's the truth, so it's okay.
Oh, I thought it was going in a completely different direction where you were going to say, because no matter when he streams, that is appointment viewing. You make time.
Well, it absolutely is. I'm not going to deny that in the slightest, but it's also, Jonas Fatson Minecraft, nothing beats it. So it's some good stuff, but no, I would argue, and I don't even, like, right now, God, I haven't had time. My backlog of videos that I would like to watch is so damn high, it's absurd. But I just, if I have the free time, it's Hermitcraft Season 7 videos for me right now. Because they're all great, and I love literally every single creator on that server. And I just love good Minecraft videos, so it's a win-win.
It seems like a perfect combination then.
Yeah. How's your run going, by the way?
It's going fine. It's like, honestly, no issues. Like, if I lose here, it will be to you having a higher score than me.
Okay. I can reassure you that I'm not gonna have a higher score than you.
Okay, if I win here, it has to be because you died. Because I'm not going for score at all. I kind of just autopiloted and made a good deck.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So
That's
I don't think I've flawless the fight yet.
I'll say it. Oh wow, do I? I don't want that. Ugh. Rude. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and go to the. In fact, I don't have the choice not to at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the 4th act as well. So sorry about it.
All right. I mean, I can try, and we'll see where it goes for me.
It's up to you.
Because I have not done it before, but I will try my best to do it. That does mean that I have to prioritize getting the key pieces now, but that's okay.
You do not have to take up this challenge. In fact, I'm not even throwing it down necessarily as a challenge.
I see. All I heard from that is
challenge. I said it 2 times.
Yeah, all I heard is you're officially challenged, so you better do it. And now I'm doing it.
I've thrown down the gauntlet.
Yep. No, you know the one show that is sitting on my like, I will be setting aside time to watch this show.
What's that?
I really want to watch Dark.
As in the German show?
As in the German show.
Okay, so I've watched all of Dark. Yes, watch Dark.
All right, glad we're on the same page.
It's very, very, very good.
I've heard it's insanely good. So basically, like, streamer that I enjoy back in the day said, hey, watch The Good Place. And I went, okay, I'll watch The Good Place. Good Place friggin' rocked. Then a year later, he went, watch Dark. Dark is really good. And I haven't watched Dark yet, but I trust that Dark is going to be very good.
Honestly, I had the same experience, specifically with Northern Lion, who a couple of years ago said, dude, Hannibal season, like Hannibal, whatever the current season was, I think it was probably 3 at the time, is really good. And then I watched all of Hannibal NBC because I was like, okay, I respect your opinion. I'll go and watch it. It quickly became one of my favorite shows of all time. And then I also watched Dark after he recommended it.
Well, there you go.
He's got complete control over my media consumption at this point.
There you have it.
No longer over my LP consumption, though, because I just don't get to watch any.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
It's deeply unfortunate. Okay. Good turn right there. You gonna do anything for Christmas? You got any plans coming up?
I mean, first we have American Thanksgiving.
Oh, is that not past?
So no, that's the end of November.
Okay, cool.
The 4th Thursday of November.
So y'all don't move immediately from Halloween to Christmas celebrations?
Oh no, we do. It's just you also have another holiday in there.
Oh, okay.
Like the Christmas decorations come out on November 1st. But you also have them up for the other holiday too. Really, if it boils down to, the U.S. is just a mess. And just, you don't need, yeah, we're just a big mess. Nothing we do really makes any sense whatsoever. And we're all gonna die of COVID. But besides that, it's going great for us in this country.
I'm glad it's going great besides that.
Yeah.
Because I can only imagine
it's just all,
there were things on top of that. It's all positive, yeah, exactly. At least, what is it, a couple million people at the moment are positive?
Yeah, I think a couple million, yeah. I was going to try and fact check that, but no, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm straight up ballparking that figure right there, though.
Yeah. Let's just say if you're in the ballpark, you hit a home run.
Here's a question that was proposed to me a couple days ago. I had a way of working through it that I want to compare against yours. So I'm going to hide my working. I'm going to ask you the question. Now, with no additional information provided to you, how many search queries do you think Google search gets every minute?
Every minute?
Yes. So an average minute as well. So like exclude time zone maths.
I would say it's around 10 to 15 million.
Okay, so are you just like straight up pulling a number out of the air, or what's brought you there? What's your reasoning? That's what I'm interested in.
So I'm going off of, there's probably 1 billion people on a computer right now.
Okay.
Right? Because there's about 8 billion people on Earth. I would argue there's probably 1 billion people either on a phone, on a computer, something of those kinds right now.
Okay.
Probably a little less than that, but I think the number is close. From there, I'm going basically just under the assumption that if you're on a computer or mobile device that has internet access, you're probably Googling something 40 times a day. So
40
out of
times
those,
a day.
I think it's around that number.
Do you Google something 40 times a day?
I absolutely Google something 40 times a day.
What is the specific thing you're Googling 40 times a day? Because it's the same thing every time, right?
I mean, well, let's, I don't need...
Okay, yeah, I'm on board now.
I'm not sure we need to go there, but... no, I don't know. During a work day, I'm Googling a question for work every 5 minutes. I'm constantly needing to Google something and figure out, a correct way to do something or a best plan for something. And then, what if I also need to look up real quick the hottest board game on the market to pick up during the holiday season in the middle of the workday? And now I'm checking that out. Like, there's a lot of things that I Google on a day-to-day basis.
But
do you want to hit me with the number?
Okay, so
of what?
So I'm gonna give you the working that I got to get there as well. Because the reliable number that I found is very, very broad, right? In range, so it's possible we're kind of both in the field. So you said what? 1 point something?
I said 10 to 15 million.
10 to 15. Okay, good. So I went with you've got 7.46, something like that, billion people on the planet.
Okay.
Then I reduced China because there's no Google access in China, so 1.5 billion people out.
That's fair. That's fair. I did not take that into account. That's fair.
And then I also lessed like a fair amount of the countries that probably don't necessarily have internet access, or at least reliable internet access, and wouldn't contribute much to those numbers. Kind of underdeveloped nations and such. Then I ended up with about 3.4, 3.6 after all of the reductions that I ended up with. And then at 3.6, I figured that how long do I spend Googling per day? I gave myself about 15 seconds. Sorry, not 15 seconds. I gave myself 2 searches, which would take about 15 seconds each in a single day. Like, 40 is insane to me. You're the outlier. You shouldn't be counted. You're Spider's George. Eating 12,000 spiders a second. So with all of that math, I ended up working down to there's probably about 2.5 million, maybe, every minute. And I think the numbers that I found were between 30,000 and 70,000 a second.
Okay, you know what? I'm pulling out the calculator right now.
30,000, 70,000 a second, or was it?
I'm gonna go on the high for that.
It might have been every 10 seconds. I don't know.
Okay, so that's 4.2 million.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds about right.
Which, I'm not gonna say much, but that's decently close to my number.
Yeah. It's not too far off. You were, 10 to 15 million?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to be a lot. I knew that my number was probably a little high.
Mm-hmm.
But Dude, people Google a lot.
People really like Google. They're like
people like Google. Yeah.
It's specifically for me, like it was another example or another attempt at the kind of things that they give you often in math related and often in programming related interviews of here's this thing, like how many windows are in New York, right? And then show all of your assumptions as you work out a number to give us, regardless of whether or not it's reflective of reality.
Yeah.
Specifically, I started thinking about that, and then for the rest of the week, I've just been thinking about problems related to that. And the second problem I need to ask you is using the same metric of, you know, trying to figure out using all of these assumptions that you have to lay out, show you're working. What chair in the world has been farted on the most?
Okay.
What chair is the toot receptacle?
It's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Extremely glad you said so.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Where's the toot bank?
If you just keep on making jokes, it's not really gonna help me come to an answer. I'm just gonna let you know now.
I was trying to fill the space.
See, like my initial thought was like the White House chair, like in the Oval Office, you know, president's chair kind of thing. But I don't think that that's the answer.
Yeah, that'd be empty a lot of the time, right?
I mean, depends on the president, I'd say.
Well, yeah. I'm saying historically.
Yeah, I know. That's like I believe it or not, I think that the answer may be like one singular person just farting on it a lot.
Like an air,
to be honest.
like maybe like the oldest in commission airplane.
Yeah.
Now
So-
is it
yeah,
the pilot,
something
the
like that.
co-pilot, or a passenger? See, so for all of this, my reckoning had to be, okay, so let's go by geography. I'm ruling out countries with dietary or cultural diets that do not involve a large amount of gas generation, right? And I'm hard including those that do. So Germany, you're on notice, right? You're on the board. America, I'm sorry, you're on that board as well. We got some processed foods up in there. I'm gonna say Japan, probably not on that board. A lot of rice, a lot of sushi, a lot of fish, a lot of lean meats and a lot of vegetables. I'm gonna say what? Your English are definitely on that board, right?
Okay.
And they got some of the oldest chairs in the world.
Okay.
Are there any other cultural... Oh, how about this, right? Another degree of it has to be possibly genetic predisposition to lactose intolerance, right? Because if you're lactose intolerant and you're still engaging in dairy, man, you are you account for possibly hundreds of thousands of people's worth of toots. Now, I posit for this reason that on the border between a nation that has a high genetic predisposition or a highly genetic racial predisposition specifically to lactose intolerance and another country that doesn't and enjoys lactose a lot, that's probably going to be the location of the seat, right? Because you've got the crossover. It's the perfect storm. So I'm saying it's got to be Russia. It's in Russia. I'm going to say Moscow. And I'm gonna say it's like it's a traditionally governmental seat, but it's of a lower rank. So maybe it's like a parliamentary speaker.
I mean that was intense.
Definitely the word to describe it. You're right.
And I think that there's an above 50% chance you're right. I won't deny that.
I'm glad I got that close.
Yeah, I think that you're darn tootin' as close as possible. I will tell you.
As is everyone on that seat.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, I'll hit you now. We're an hour 16 deep.
Yeah.
That said, with a little bit of editing because we had an extended break in the middle. Low chance that anybody that is easily offended makes it to this point in the video. So it's time for me to fire out the question from the beginning.
Love it.
Take a cast of 5 of your favorite Muppets. Do you have 5 favorite Muppets?
So I didn't watch the Muppets growing up, but I could probably identify 5, certainly.
Okay, that works. I'll even throw in you can do Sesame Street because they're kind of the same.
Okay.
Okay. Who did they vote for in the American election?
Okay. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Fozzie voted for Bernie in the primaries and then begrudgingly voted for Biden. It's just how that happens, right? Fozzie is right there. Now, thancfully, one of my favorite characters is not the American Hawk, the captain guy, because
Sam Eagle.
There you go.
Yeah, I could tell you very quickly who Sam Eagle voted for.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Jorgensen.
Oh, well, I mean, look, at least he did that, you know? Okay, well, I think what I need to do first is answer the question of the 5 favorite Muppets, because otherwise I'm going to think about what political associations they may have and then work backwards from there. So,
okay.
Off the top of the list, it's gotta include... Who's the guy who's just, like, real chill about everything, and he's, like, plays in bands?
Are you maybe thinking of Gonzo?
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of Gonzo.
He's got the beak, kind of.
Yeah,
it's like a curved
it's like a curly
beak.
nose, kind of like antelope kind of style.
Yeah.
So I think Gonzo as well. I also think Gonzo got way blasted the night before and forgot to vote.
Okay. I think that's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And 0% chance he did a mail-in. There's no way.
Nah, not even slightly.
Yeah.
That would have required like getting organized much more ahead of time.
Yeah, completely agree.
Now, other Muppets that I particularly enjoy the presence of. Okay, now here's the problem. Because the next 2 Muppets that I enjoy the presence of, I know what they did. I know it.
And
Statler
you're not
and
proud
Waldorf,
of them.
right?
Oh,
they both
dude.
died before the election, and people voted in their names. Oh my god, I can't believe this is... Please, legitimately, do not believe that's what I actually think. But I can't believe it. Dead people voted.
Dude, I'm just gonna tell you though. Waldorf and Statler voted for Trump.
Oh, 100%.
They didn't die. They were on their deathbeds making sure their vote was counted before they died.
They wanted to make sure they lasted just long enough to
just
screw
long
people
enough
on the way out.
Yeah.
That's definitely their position. I totally agree there as well. So that's Statler Waldorf. We've got Fozzie. We've also got Gonzo. So for my final, it's a good question, isn't it? My final, I'm gonna say Honeydew.
Okay. Do you think he's pro-science enough?
I'm thinking about that. But I also don't know. You know what? I think Honeydew might have split their ticket. I think Honeydew might be trying to be like, oh no, look, we'll just politically gridlock whoever gets in power, and then that'll be fine. I think Honeydew's got some not necessarily malice, but just doesn't necessarily value the right things, and unfortunately has a misguided opinion of what they should have done at the point due to that.
I see.
Now I'm gonna have to ask, your 5 favorites and what's the competing results?
So, I will, I'll throw in one singular vote that I think that Beaker has to be a top 5 Muppet no matter what. Just because the sound that he makes is enough to drive you friggin' batty for the rest of the day.
Not wrong.
I also have a soft spot for the Swedish Chef. Solely because of the racial profiling.
Right. So, they've got that on their side, but who did the Swedish Chef vote for?
He can't vote in the American election.
Okay, that's a cop out right there.
So, I hate to break it to you, but sadly, we'll never know.
No. Okay, so the Swedish Chef did vote, but they voted using Statler and Waldorf's names after they died.
Yeah, there you go.
We've
And those votes were possibly in Pennsylvania, but I'm not going to say yes or no.
They also voted, as it turns out, 24,000 times, so it's actually enough.
All right, cut the video.
Okay, so, like, if we're out of the realm of favorite Muppets, then I've just got to ask, Miss Piggy.
Voted Trump.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Because...
I refuse to believe otherwise, actually.
Like, So I agree, but I
we
think it's...
we can pretend she didn't, but she did.
But I think it's so obvious that we need to consider alternatives.
I think she did, but she told everybody she didn't.
Okay, yeah. I'm on board.
All right.
I think Kermit voted Biden. I also think Kermit is, like, really excited that Biden's in office as well. Or, will be.
Oh, yeah, no, he was making calls.
He was actually, he was Team Buttigieg to start out with, but then he swapped to Biden after Super Tuesday.
Wow, this is the worst bit we've ever done. Without a doubt.
It's
so many people have left a dislike on the video at this point.
Oh, no, it is completely fine. On my side, I'm pretty sure I've made as explicitly clear as I can that I do not want people who enjoy Trump as a person or as a political figure anywhere on the channel. In fact, if you are watching and that's your position, please unsubscribe and leave me alone forever.
Ah, dude, that's good stuff, ain't it?
Yeah.
What an interesting life we live.
See, the thing is, like, my Discord was talking about this recently because they were talking about the thing that I mentioned a couple times before of I put a couple poison pills sometimes in my content where I will just talk about things in my real, like, everyday life, things that I've experienced, things that I tend to experience, positions I have. And none of these are there specifically for this reason, but they have the extra benefit of, if I happen to talk about, I don't know, the fact that I have a partner who is male, or the fact that I care about some of these specific political issues and gender issues, or that I care about specific racial issues as well. If I talk about any of those kinds of things, it starts filtering people out. And I want those people filtered out. I do not want them here. This is not the space for them.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
By the way, I'm on the merchant fight in Act 4.
Oh, hell yeah. Well done.
So we're doing this. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm pretty sure that I maybe on my last floor alone took this win. Because my last floor is insanely good.
You easily could have. I've got 6 cards in my deck, so like none of them are curses.
Dude, I did not go curses.
Oh?
I've got no dupes. That's the one thing I have going for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've got no dupes either because I got not enough cards to have dupes.
Okay. I think I flawless everything on the last floor though.
As have I.
Oh, okay, it'll be spicy then. It's gonna be spicy. It'll be spicy.
We're gonna get some capsaicin content in this one.
Yeah. It'll probably be the longest draft chance we ever do. But friggin' YOLO.
It's all good. I'm pretty sure we had a 2-hour one once.
Did we?
I think so. I might be mistaken.
I hope we did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is enough damage.
I guess it's time to fight Meow for the first time in my life.
Yeah, thank you for taking up the challenge here. We did discuss before the start whether or not we were going to specifically do this, and I accidentally maneuvered into the position that I kind of forced you to, so...
Yeah.
Thanks for being a good sport about it.
Yeah, you know.
You win some, you dim some, that's what they say. That's life.
Dude. Could go for some dim sum right now.
I could absolutely murder some.
And it's 10 at night, and I would absolutely still do it.
Oh, 100%. I don't
the best
see
time
it really
to do
as a time-related issue.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, that'll help. I'm actually getting back into a boss fight, so I'm going to have just a bit of difficulty with this fight. Commentating specifically during.
So, like, tell me. Oh, okay. I understand. I was about to ask you what is the shtick with Meow, and then I realized that he has a modifier that says he can't be killed, which is probably his shtick. Yeah. It's an interesting shtick.
So you're just going to exist there forever from now on.
Okay.
He can't be killed.
It's going to be a pretty long video if we can't kill him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm set in. I'm wearing my Depends. I'm ready.
All right. He kind of just put 4 curses in my deck. It's kind of rude.
Yeah, he does that.
Not really a huge fan of that, but I suppose if it makes him happy, I'm down.
It's like the only thing that gets them off. That's their big fetish, is just putting 4 curses in your deck specifically on turn 2.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
in fact, I feel similarly.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want 4 more curses in your deck, but probably in your meta deck.
That's normally how I do it.
Be joining you in this merchant fight soon. Or rather, the Meow fight soon, hopefully.
Oh, I've got him on 6 health, so clearly my fight's over.
Yeah. I mean, they can't die, but as soon as you get them down to low HP, they flee because they're terrified of you.
All right, I've ended my turn. He is leaving, and he said, "Arise." Oh, do I have to fight all of the people again?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's just horrible. that sucks. Like a lot.
It does definitely mean some strategies that are like, you know, about blowing up a single target. You've got 6 targets, 7 targets in the Meow fight to blow up.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean this is a fight, for sure.
Kind of reminds me of how I initially felt about the Heart fight, where I was like, but you can't use every deck against the Heart fight.
Do you want to know a secret?
Always.
I've never beaten the Heart.
That really surprises me.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Is it something that you're just not interested in doing?
I have no interest in ever doing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I've been there multiple times, and I felt that the fight was annoying, and decently unfair, which I think that you would maybe argue is pretty fair. That it's unfair. That sentence was a mess. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't need to do it. It falls under the same camp as Delirium in Isaac for me, where Delirium is a garbage fire boss that should have never been in the game to begin with, and you gain nothing by doing it, so I don't need to do it.
Now, however, have you killed Delirium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, I killed Delirium today.
Yes.
So yeah.
I offer in return. That is my heart, right?
Yeah.
It's the game that I do on my channel, so I have to go to the end goal. But at the same time, I have found the ability to enjoy the heart. Honestly, part of that has been through my series with Teak. I've really found the joy of it. That was part of the reason, in fact, that I wanted to start the series with Teak, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's something interesting in the game that kind of sits as the here's an end goal thing that not all people are gonna go for, kind of thing. It's kind of like, no, I'm not gonna. Here, I'll preface this. Do you intend on playing Spelunky 2 pretty much any time in the nearby future?
Probably.
How badly do you care about spoilers?
Spoilers of what? Like the game to me is kind of purely mechanical, so I don't really. Okay, spoilers don't matter to me. No.
I will be very spoiler friendly then, just in case. There is a thing in Spelunky 2, a floor that you can go to that I would argue 99, if not more, % of players will never beat it. It extends the run by upwards of 5 hours and is borderline. Some people are calling it, one of the most difficult things that can be done in any video game ever, kind of thing. I hopefully will get to that point where I can do it, but I have not even made it to the floor yet. I'm 50 hours into the game. A lot of people are like, I don't like that this is a thing in the game because I'm a completionist and I can't fully complete it. And I get that, but I actually don't really care that that's in the game. It's kind of the same with the Heart and Delirium for me. If people want to enjoy going and doing those fights, be my guest. It's not my cup of tea, so I am probably not going to do those fights, but I understand the people that want to.
That's totally fair enough. By 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an exaggeration.
No, it's not an exaggeration. So you know how Spelunky floors are, basically four floors on the floor kind of thing?
4 on the floor.
It's like 1-1 to 1-4 kind of thing, then 2-1 to 2-4.
Yep.
Basically 7-1 to 7-4, then goes to 7-99, and then the run ends.
So, was this kind of implemented in response to the people that really enjoyed watching, like, B-Rex and Bear try and do the eggplant challenge? Like, is it for that level of gamer?
Yes. I mean, I think that it was borderline put in for streamers as a whole. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's like I haven't looked into it a lot because I'm still trying to play relatively spoiler free.
Yep.
So I haven't made it to the floor, but it's been spoiled for me what the floor is. So I don't know a lot about it, but to my knowledge of what it is, I think that it's more the fact that it's very hard to get there, and that's the part of it that is difficult, is the getting there part. And then it's just more like the fact that it wears you down, that you're doing it for 5 hours kind of thing. I think that's the difficulty factor of it.
Right. Repetition and tedium can be a challenge.
They're the killers. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I 1000% agree.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think it's not an illegitimate thing for games to test your patience. However, that is usually from an artistic kind of like direction that I tend to take that. Like, I don't know, a puzzle game where you have to wait in one spot for 2 hours in a row in order to get something. I'm like, okay, there is something you are trying to communicate to me with this. I enjoy this. It might not necessarily be a fun experience at the time, but it's something I will always think about in terms of this game, right? I think pretty much anyone who's played The Witness will have some kind of like relative like similarity along those lines. Now, here though, because it's a game that is so like, typically your reward, your response is instantaneous, right? You do something and you die or you don't. You get to the bottom of the level or you don't, right? Like it's very split second. I don't know how I would feel about it in that environment. Like I feel like I would be tuned to look for faster play.
Yeah, and I mean, so I'm without spoilers. It's still 99 levels of Spelunky. So it's still, I mean, it's still, you can die instantly, and it's still the ghost. There's borderline 2 ghosts chasing you at all times. And the ghost is faster in Spelunky 2, and if you wait long enough, the ghost splits into 2 in Spelunky 2, and if you wait even longer, it splits into 4, which is horrifying. But it's not like the tedium is something that, like, it's not like the tedium, I don't know how to word this. The tedium is not that it's easy still. Like, it's still probably the hardest levels of the game. But it's also just 99 of them. So, yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's messy. And I will say, I'm 99% sure, you mentioned Bear and B-Rex. I'm not sure either of them have done it yet. And they've been streaming Spelunky 2 every day. Like, I think there's actually, like, I think people have said there's 2 people that have done it in the world. Like, that's how difficult it is. So, like, I know Penta has made it to the place. And you know, like, Penta put in over 100 hours of Spelunky 2 in, like, the first week. Yeah. He's made it to the place. I think his furthest was, like, 7-9 out of 99.
7-9.
Like, it's just absurd, the difficulty scale. And, like, and I'm gonna tell you, I just won my first YouTube, like, full run, won my first yesterday. And I'm 47 episodes into my series and around 52 hours in the game.
I mean, but that's...
Now, I had done it on stream, but... And there's, like, you know Spelunky, so it's not really, I'm not spoiling anything. There's obviously the easy win, then there's the hard win, then there's the really hard win, and then there's the one that I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the hard win is what I just got. I haven't gotten the very hard win, and obviously have not gotten the kill me win. So it's hard.
The easy is Olmec still, right? No?
Sure. Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay, so there must be a boss earlier than that then now.
Yeah, we'll say that.
I saw that.
I'm looking forward to you playing Spelunky 2. Because
I gotta say,
it just
what you just told me about there being that kind of like goal, I do get pretty completionistic with games that I get into, I find if I am going to get into a game that might trigger my kind of like completionistic tendencies, I really hope it's not a game that has something like that. I think I am on the other people's side of that.
See, but I will also say, so this is what I've heard. So it might not be accurate either. So the game has a journal that tracks every person you meet, every item you pick up, everything, right? You can 100% complete the journal by not completing the level 99.
Okay, so
you can 100% complete the game. I don't even think there's a Steam achievement for doing the 99.
Okay, yeah, I'm back to fine with it. Like this to me is now like Stardew Valley has that really weird achievement with the arcade machines that I'm never gonna get because I'm never gonna get that deep in Faustus's Revenge or whatever it is. But I don't have to. Yeah, doesn't affect anything.
No, it does not affect anything to do this. So I think that how it. No, I'm not gonna spoil that one for you. Okay. But because I still want to tread very carefully because there's. Dude, I mean, just like, you know how the path in Spelunky 1, you have the Ujat Eye, and then that allows you to find the black market, which gives you the Hedget, which then allows you to go to the City of Gold, which then gives you the Necronomicon, which allows you to see Hell, and there's kind of like that progression line.
Does it give you the Hedget? The black market gives you the Ankh.
Black market gives you the Ankh. My bad. Very sorry.
Get the Hedget.
Please disregard. Correct. Please disregard what I said. There's definitely no Hedget in a black market in Spelunky 2. Forget I said it.
It's fine. I'm gonna use this one sentence, that back and forth we just had, in order to title this episode "Rhapsody better at Spelunky than Olexa?" Question mark? Question mark.
But take that feeling of the exploration of finding this very secret path, and then multiply it by 15. That's Spelunky 2. Because, like I said, I'm 50 hours into the game now. And every single time I play, I'm still finding something different and unique and new.
So are you like regularly just experimenting constantly?
Oh,
I'm
dude.
gonna throw a bomb over here and see if that does anything.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Yeah.
Like, and half of the time, it does. Like it's little stupid things that you would never even think about. Like, I got a comment that was like, "Hey, take a picture of the ghost with the camera." Like, why the hell would I ever even think to do that?
Because in the first game, when you took a picture of the ghost with the camera, they would change into a bathing suit, I believe, for a second. Like that flash, as you flashed the camera.
Well, there you go. But there's just, there's so many little intricate things in Spelunky 2 that, like, you look at it and you go, how the hell did Derek think of that? Like, how the hell did he sit down and go, yeah, this is what we need here? And then how did it work perfectly? And then how is the game still, like, perfectly balanced? How is it still, like, it still plays as Spelunky 1, but just with more stuff in it, which is exactly what every single Spelunky fan asked for in Spelunky 2. And he delivered literally just that. And the game is perfection. I mean, there's literally, and the one issue that I had with the game, which I cannot say, was patched this past week.
Hell yeah, I'm glad to hear it.
And by patched, I mean, like, they completely changed it. It wasn't like, oh, there's a bug. It was, yeah, the community didn't like this, so we just redid it. Like, I don't have any complaints about the game now. There's none. It's just perfect.
I do love games like that like are exactly what they want to be and nothing more.
Yeah.
It's really, really good, especially in the uni space. Hey, but I've completed my Meow find. I imagine you probably did a little bit ago again as well.
So have I. I'm good. I'm done.
Do you want to ballpark us?
Dude, for the first time in my life, I get to say above 1900?
Yes.
Below 2000?
No.
That's a problem. 1951. A solid year.
I imagine probably a kind of solid year. There was another streamer that I was Barlow actually, who Teak has also worked with, that I was watching, who does that same thing of any score at the end of the run is just a year, and then you comment on the year, and then 1936 came up. It was like, well, we got that for our score, and then just leaves the page. I got 2047, which I'm hoping is going to be a good year. With what's 2047? That's Blade Runner, right? The Blade Runner 2047.
Yeah, I think so. No, that's 2077.
No, 2077 is Cyberpunk, is it not?
That's yeah.
Also, I got those confused recently as well. So you know what? In lieu of this, the 2047 here, I'm gonna finally watch the next Blade Runner. I'll watch that this afternoon.
There you go.
But yeah, that'll be the difference maker. I think it's like, honestly, it might be combo that got me the difference maker there.
I do not have combo.
It's that, and I like shiny because I got the shovel and just dug.
I got 50 from I like shiny.
Okay. Where are we different then? Maybe I took on an extra elite.
So I mean, I've got 8 elites.
6 for me.
I had wing boots that I stole a couple more.
Nice. I was considering that as well. Did you champion every one of your elites?
I had 5 champions, 2 perfects.
Right. Okay. I had the 6 champions beyond perfect.
There you go.
Literally, it was just like play Bauble Beam and then wait until I can play Bauble Beam again, because it was a dawn into its own day. It was everything that I needed.
Yeah. My run exploded in the third act, and I was getting upwards of like 20 strength a turn. But it was not enough on the first 2 floors, so it kind of faded. And I ended up with 2 membership cards on my run, so every time I went to the shop, I got 3 relics.
Did they actually properly stack?
I believe they did, yeah.
I imagine additively, not multiplicatively.
Yeah, correct, yeah. No, I think they did, but I was also just making money out the ass. So even if they didn't stack, I was still buying 3 relics every time I went to the shop.
Well, it's still, I will say, congratulations on your first kill of Meow.
Thank you. Thank you. It was very fun, actually.
Yeah, see? It's
Good time.
It's enjoyable as well. And now you'll know the kinds of things that you'll have to build for should you continue doing the Downfall series.
Yeah.
But considering that I took us in for the intro, I'll also take us out by saying that my name is Rhapsody, his name is Alexa. There is a playlist in the description down below with all of the content that we've done together on this past, present, and future. And you can also find down there now the link, specifically in my description, to the other episode that we also did on The Guardian a couple weeks prior over on Alexa's channel. Anything you got to plug?
I need to plug sad news for the most part, which nobody wants to hear, but depending, there still might be another one. We'll have to see. But this will be the last episode of Draft Champs for a small hiatus, because of okay, Slay the Spire, you're so freaking loud right now. I have to get that. Okay, there we go. Because of my holiday-related stuff that I do on YouTube and Twitch, that completely turns my schedule on its head, plus the holidays, plus I'm moving soon, and there's just a lot of stuff going on in real life. The slot that we normally use for Draft Champs with Raps and I is probably being opened up to do some other multiplayer stuff, or just become a day where I can actually breathe at night. So stay tuned for more multiplayer stuff with Rhapsody and I, and the rest of the Wholesomeverse. You can also find that on Wednesdays at Wholesomeverse Live. But hopefully you won't miss Draft Champs too much, and if you do, there's, I don't know, like 20-some episodes of the 2 of us doing it in the playlist for Draft Champs.
Yeah, there is more than a glut of content that will be available at that time. Specifically, I'd like to ask, actually, as well, what are the kinds of things you're planning to do for Elections this year?
Dude, So there's a couple things. I'm treating it as a pseudo 50K celebration, which you're also like hitting it with me in a few weeks. Like we're basically just one and the same right now in terms of sub count. So I have a pretty secret series that I've kept kind of private that I've been working on in the back end, that I'll be launching for Aleximus and as a 50K celebration. Normally for Aleximus, I try to do some holiday themed content and then some throwback to old series people liked. So games like Space Gladiators are coming back during Aleximus. I'll probably end up playing some Shapes.io. I'm going to bring back GeoGuessr for a little bit. I'm probably going to play some Spelunky 1 just for the memes, and see if I can beat Hell easily after playing Spelunky 2, which I think is about 4 times as hard as Spelunky 1. And who knows what else, dude? Probably some Enter the Gungeon and Isaac and Spire, and just do all kinds. It's a month of variety.
Hell yeah.
You never know what you're going to get on a given day.
Are you doing like effectively the 31 days of Aleximus? Here's a different game each day, or is like what's the broad plan for structure?
It's going to be, you know, some series that I know people really want back, like Space Gladiators. We'll have a couple more, you know, episodes than usual. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be random one-off. Here's me playing this random ass holiday themed video that. You never knew that you wanted me to play, but here I am playing a search and find Christmas flash game that you get to listen to me commentate. Or here's me playing some modded Dicey Dungeons that I've promised for like 8 months and haven't made a video on in 8 months. And all kinds of good stuff. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, you can find that, again, if you are not yet subscribed, at the link in the description down below to Alexa's channel. Go sub and you'll be able to see that as it happens. At the moment, though, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next week?
We'll see. Bye-bye.